Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Black Push's Push Talk. Today, I'm James, and I have Ali with me today, and it's a very special episode, if you will. We're having we've put together a little collage and everything. It's actually pretty great. Looking forward to the swearing in of Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. Which should take place in the very near future, over the next several weeks, I believe.
Yes.
But anyway, man, again, let me ask you your thoughts on this whole process.
All I want to say is just speak to my emotions. That the fact that a minority woman is now in the highest court, it means, I think, everything to minorities in general, not just. It's a victory for, of course, African Americans, but to me it feels like a victory as well, and just progress in general. It's like Cory Booker's speech kind of got me today, and I hadn't seen it until today.
Okay.
It happened a while back, but and we'll see clips of that. But this whole thing started, of course, with this. Let's take a look.
A daughter of former public school teachers, a proven consensus builder, an accomplished lawyer, a distinguished jurist, one of the nation's most prestigious courts. My nominee for the United States Supreme Court is Judge Ketanji Jackson.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. I mean, like, that was just a nomination, and a lot of people were up in arms, and a handful of people were, but there's it could have been because it was race based, or very well could have been any number of things. Why? Because she was because it was a female, right, and not a male. Whatever it is that triggers people.
Yeah.
But yes. It's been awesome. I tell you what, I'm excited about
Absolutely.
The choice that he has made, and victory and kudos for President Biden for keeping his word when it came to mentioning that he would do this,
right,
on the onset of his campaign.
Right.
So, and he's been able to get it done. So, kudos to him for that victory.
Absolutely.
Check that box.
And I've seen a lot of comments. We had a post on Facebook that got a lot of comments, and some of the sentiments, negative ones, are like, she was just nominated based on race, and like that's absolutely untrue. She's qualified in so many different ways, and she is just accomplished and qualified in every different way. But speaking to that directly, I feel like, well, it's time. Look at the court. Look at what it looks like. Does it represent America? I don't think it does. And now it's a little bit closer to being what it should look like.
Absolutely. And at the second phase of first it was the nomination, right, and then the second phase was the questioning.
Oh my God! Right. And here's some of the questions that she faced.
Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Senator.
I love her reaction.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how faithful would you say you are in terms of religion?
I love her silences and just the way that she looks and the repeating of the question, and there's so much subtext there that she carries and says with poise and grace.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She definitely held her own, and that look that she gave just really
speaks volumes.
It said it all, man. I mean, like, really, she not only she kept her cool, she held her composure. I liken it to a female version of President Obama. Very cool, yes, under pressure, no cracks.
Absolutely not, right.
You know, and just flawless, and you know,
Right.
very calm and cool when it came down to the questioning, and that's how you know when you get sitting, in the forefront and everyone's blasting questions at you,
Right.
that's that can get pretty intense. You get nervous over time and everything, trying to answer all the questions.
Right, and that kind of poise is inspiring on just a personal level. I feel like I personally, and I know like lots of folks struggle with keeping your cool and dealing with things in an adult way rather than giving in to your anger. And just watching her do that makes you want to do better in
Yeah,
life. And
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, she held her cool, man, and I loved it. And you can check just because of those questions and the way she composed herself. Check, victory.
Right.
Because it was really outstanding, man. And this is something truly for the United States of America to
Absolutely.
really rally behind and celebrate that we have made this accomplishment
Absolutely.
overall, as in general, and the country now, as far as the judicial system, as far as the Supreme Court justice is concerned, it starts, like you mentioned, it looks more like what
Right, America is like.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. So that's great. That's
And
great.
of course, this means a whole lot to, like I was saying, to minorities and whatnot. And I feel like Senator Booker spoke personally from the heart about this. And I want to play a clip. It's a little bit long, but it's, it got me watching it. So I hope you find it valuable to take a look at it as well.
I'm jogging this morning, and I'm at the end of the block I live on. And I get tired because I put my music on loud when I'm jogging, trying to block out the noise of the heart attack I'm having. And this woman comes up on me, practically tackles me, an African-American woman. And the look on her eyes, she just wanted to touch me, because I'm sitting so close to you, and tell me what it meant to her to watch you sitting where you're sitting. And you did not get there because of some left-wing agenda? You didn't get here because of some dark money groups? You got here how every black woman in America who's gotten anywhere has done. By being, like Ginger Rogers said, I did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in heels. I know you and we appreciate something that we get that a lot of my colleagues don't. I know Tim Scott does. When I first came to this place, I was the 4th black person ever popularly elected to the United States Senate. I still remember a lot of mixed people, white folks, black folks work here, but at night when people are in line to come in to clean this place, the percentage of minorities shift a lot. And so I'm walking here, first week I'm here, and somebody who's been here for decades doing the urgent work of the Senate, but it's the unglamorous work that goes on no matter who's in offices. The guy comes up to me, all he wants to say, I can tell, is, I'm so happy you're here. But he comes up and he can't get the words out, and this man, my elder, starts crying. And I just hugged him, and he just kept telling me, it is so good to see you here, so good to see you here, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, there is something just priceless about historical moments like this where you feel like progress is being made. And the story he tells is just so telling of how things are, and what it really means for someone to achieve and inspire the way he has and the way Judge Jackson has.
Yeah. I tell you, his speech during the Senate hearings were, it was very, very moving.
Yeah.
You saw in there that as if you look at the full clip of him speaking, you see that they're both moved to tears.
Absolutely right.
And it can really settle up in your throat.
Yeah.
And it's just so great to be able to have that, to be able to see that. And with technology being what it is, you will never ever be able to forget it, because it's recorded in the analogs of history.
Yeah, and
And
I think Senator Booker did a fine job of tying it to history, and by talking about his heroes and
Yes.
who have you. There is another clip. Should I play it?
Sure.
Okay.
And I want to tell you, when I look at you, this is why I get emotional. I'm sorry, you're a person that is so much more than your race and gender. You're a Christian, you're a mom, you're an intellect, you love books, but for me, I'm sorry, it's hard for me not to look at you and not see my mom, not to see my cousins, one of them who had to come here and sit behind you. She had to have your back. I see my ancestors and yours. Nobody's going to steal the joy of that woman in the street, or the calls that I'm getting, or the texts. Nobody's going to steal that joy. You have earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American. So you got 5 more folk to go through. 5 more of us. And then you can sit back and let us have all the debates. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a well-charted Senate floor, because it's not going to stop. They're going to accuse you of this and that. Heck, in honor of your person who shares your birthday, you might be called a communist. But don't worry, my sister. Don't worry. God has got you. And how do I know that? Because you're here. And I know what it's taken for you to sit in that seat. Harriet Tubman is one of my heroes, because the more I read about this person, the more, she was viciously beaten. For her whole life, she used to fall into spells, cracked skull. She faced starvation, chased by dogs. And when she got to freedom, what did she do? Did she rest? No, she went back. Again and again and again. The sky was full of stars. But she found one that was a harbinger of hope for better days, not just for her and those people that were enslaved, but a harbinger of hope for this country. And she never gave up on America. She fought led troops in the Civil War. She was involved in the suffrage movement. And as I came back from my run, after being near assaulted by someone on the street, I thought about her and how she looked up. She kept looking up. No matter what they did to her, she never stopped looking up. And that star, it was a harbinger of hope. Today, you're my star. You are my harbinger of hope. This country is getting better and better and better. And when that final vote happens, and you ascend onto the highest court in the land, I'm going to rejoice. And I'm going to tell you right now, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, will be better because of you. Thank you.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, you can't. It's hard not to. It's hard not to see. It's difficult to to see that and then not get emotionally caught up in what he was saying, emotionally captured by his demeanor and the way he how he had to keep his composure.
Right.
And then watching her just sit there and listen to it and then try to keep herself composed.
Right.
But yeah, what a great speech that he had. And I tell you what, to be an American today, and see and be a part of history and see it being made before our very eyes. It's wow, man, outstanding.
Absolutely.
and it's just great to be able to witness that. These milestones in our history that are going to be in the textbooks for the children to come, years from now, and everything. And it's going to transcend generations when it comes to this kind of, something as phenomenal and as big as this. When you look at the first federal judge, Constance Motley, and when she came in, I think Honorable Jackson made mention of her before and everything, and it was like really, you have to take into consideration what that meant for Judge Jackson to see a federal judge come in, be appointed a federal judge in the what was that, the 60s?
Wow, yeah.
And because it was all of 60 years ago, at least, but to be able to make an informed decision and say, I want to be a judge,
Right.
and then have an example of someone who can do that. Now there's young ladies now today
Right.
who can look up and see the history
Yes.
that she just made, and that was made in this country, and be able to emulate that and have something to strive for. You can't get any higher in the judicial system.
No, she's reached the pinnacle.
Man. And so with that being said, these young ladies, and I won't even say, just women of color, but, it's just women, and then women of color are able to these young girls have something to shoot for.
Right.
In the long term. And I tell you, man, it's just awesome.
It is.
And I have granddaughters now who are able to look at this and go,
Exactly.
I could do that.
Yeah, I just echoing just what Senator Booker said. It's hard to look at her and not see yourself and not see your friends, and it's not about taking power away from anybody. It's about the people in power looking more like you, and places of opportunity and position feeling genuinely and viscerally open to you, rather than looking and seeing the same color of person, the same look, the same, I guess, historically, white men
Yes.
everywhere. I'm not saying they were unfair, they were this, they were that. I'm just saying it allows you to dream big. It allows you to look at the world and see that it looks like yourself. You don't feel alienated from your government as much as you would otherwise. There's just a lot of stuff that it does emotionally, aside from all the political and legal stuff that it means, that I think is quite important.
Yeah. I tell you what, even as all of this is taking place, I came across an article this morning where it talked about Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham taking shots on their way out the door and everything, and called her, she is an extreme outlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is
Again, wanting to take,
patently false.
huh?
Which is false.
You're right.
Absolutely false.
Yeah. And anyone who thinks that she is, she's overqualified by comparison to a handful of the people who are already sitting,
Yes.
who are already presiding. So and she, because she was she served on both sides of the coin.
Right.
That is
She's not an extreme
phenomenal.
outlier.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
won bipartisan vote in a world where we can't pass anything with
Right.
anybody else on board from the other side of the aisle. She had 3 Republican backers, Senators Romney, Murkowski, and
All
Suzanne
Republican
Collins.
senators. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a picture of them.
There they go.
Yeah, and I think the fact that she could get these votes is testament to the fact that she's not an extreme outlier.
Yeah.
She is a moderate voice. She's a reasonable voice, and her track record
proves
speaks
it.
for itself.
Yeah,
proves it.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know, it's amazing that with things with the way things got set up a few years ago, with the filibuster and everything, and then getting the Republicans able to set it up in such a way that they were able to stack the deck, if you will. Right, and then having we only need 51.
Right.
Okay, well, now we got 53.
Right.
So, and those three came from across the line.
Right.
And so for that to happen, man, you have to you have to have said your track record needs to be impeccable, and you have had to have the conversation and be heard.
Right.
And she was heard, and
Yes.
she was able to gather three, and she might, truth be told, that she might have been able to get more if
Absolutely.
but you have
She didn't need them.
she
I
didn't.
feel like, if only a few senators get the prestige and the opportunity to really act with dignity and really do what is actually right. That's a privilege that not all elected officials get. And I think it's not only a testament to their moral courage that they voted for her, it just shows that they have, on a more, I guess, frank level, they can. Like Mitt Romney ran for president, he's got a sure seat, and he can act on his best conviction. And I think other senators, they have to toe the party line, otherwise they will lose their seats.
Right.
Right, and I think those of them who could act with dignity did. And it all ultimately came to this.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed.
There was a handful of Republican senators actually started walking out at that point. Yeah. I don't know if we was able to see that, but it did take place. Yeah, it was, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That means okay. Well, because you did your job, you voted, and you walked. And now it's time for you to walk away. Okay,
Right.
that's fine. Cool. See ya. But what's so funny about that, man, is the 47th vote that they got for the nay
Okay.
was cast by Rand Paul.
Yeah, you were telling me about this earlier.
Yeah, and he while they were in session, while they were doing the voting and stuff, he somehow magically disappeared, and that he disappeared for a while, and they were calling and texting and emailing, and went down the hall to his office, a few floors away, and all that kind of stuff to catch up with him. Then they finally found him. He came in and he hollers out, "No!" And he walks out. Okay, cool, man. It's not that difficult to cast a vote. You just now what took you so long to do it? You could have been one of the first people in and out,
Right.
just to say no. But anyway, I just found it amusing that he that he decided to.
Right. It really.
Huh?
It shows sort of a tone deafness to the historic nature of the vote.
Yeah.
Even if he is a no, have the respect to be there and vote no. rather than wandering.
Well, yeah, but some of these Republicans, have shown who they are from the very beginning.
Right.
Whether it looks good to be in the good company of former President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say 45.
Right,
whatever,
right.
pick one.
Yes.
Pick one. Whatever it is that
lived in
makes you feel
space-time
better.
Where something crazy happened for 4 years.
Yeah. So
Right.
I mean, but if you want to stay in his good graces, I guess the Republican Party. I don't why they have still allowed this dude to run them the way Go sit down, sir. We
Right.
got this.
Right. Right.
But nevertheless, it's great to see this and be a part of history and just watch it and just being able to witness this, man. That, kudos. She has a great celebration ahead of her.
Yes.
And even more so once they swear her in. So it ain't over yet.
No.
So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. Look forward to being able to see that. It's been a great week. This whole process has been really good to be able to watch and be a part of here at Black Push, and being able to come on here with you all, for Push Talk, and be able to do this. It's been phenomenal just to be witness to this.
Yes.
And if you're an American, and most especially a African American, this is a victory. It is a victory for Americans. And it's announcing to the world that America is making some changes.
Yes.
So I mean, this is huge on so many levels, and because it's shining a spotlight on America as it is and has been. What we've seen over the last few years when it came to in various injustices that have taken place in our country, and then of course having former President Trump in office and his talking points not only in this country but around the world, and his behavior, and it really looked like. If you're on the outside looking in,
Right.
It really looks like America's,
Yes.
in a handbasket,
Yes. Right. Right.
on their way down into the
Right.
deepest depths. And so this announces that from where we were, we're rising back up again,
Yes.
slowly
Yes.
but surely. And this is great move, and
Yes.
for the Biden administration, and great for the country, but even greater than that, than
Right.
that it is for the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. And we got, like Cory Booker said, Harriet Tubman kept looking up, and so apparently Judge Jackson continued to look up, and she looked to the hills whence her help came from, and to be able to activate her faith.
Yes.
And be obedient to it in such a way that it has got her to this point, and it says a lot for all of us.
Absolutely.
So
As a last comment, I just want to paraphrase Dr. King when he said that the arc of justice may be long, and I think living through life, it may seem arduous to fight for it, and if you look at things myopically, it may seem like there is no justice, but that arc is long and it bends toward justice.
yes.
Arc of history. I think
Very
I said
well
that.
put.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, folks. Well, that's our time for today. We look forward to seeing you look forward to seeing us. We'll see you all very, very soon. Enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And again, and I always say, and I'm going to continue to say this, make sure that you're registered to vote, then go out to vote. When you do, make sure you've done everything you can to know what the issues are, how they're going to affect you and your family and the community, and then know who is going to vote in your in your best interest of long term. You got to think long term. It can't be a short term thing. So we are doing all that we can to be able to move forward in all of this. So we're going to be next Tuesday, or Tuesday the 12th.
Yes.
We will be doing a what is that? The
It's-
vote rally.
And pray. It's a
I forget the name of it. Yeah, the massive voter
rally.
right. Yes,
Right.
prayer march and rally,
Exactly.
and that's 11 a.m. Yes,
At the King Center.
absolutely.
And,
So be there, be square.
Absolutely. I've got one more promo to show you for the One Accord Conference, and if that's all we've got.
That's all we got.
All right.
Have
See
a
you
wonderful
soon.
day.
Thank you.
See, the One Accord Conference for me was never for the people. What God told me, he said, I need a Nehemiah shake in the spirit. And I didn't get it. But what Nehemiah did is when God gave him a vision to rebuild the temple, Nehemiah went and he spoke to who? He spoke to the leaders. And the Bible says that when the leaders began to get on that part of the wall and began to work, the people who followed the leaders began to work. We need leaders who are ready to get back to work.
People are dying because they're waiting on us. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?